Have you ever wondered how one single day can change the course of history forever? Well, strap in, because we're rediving into one of the most epic naval battles ever fought. The Battle of Actium. This wasn't just a clash of ships, it was the dramatic final act of the Roman Republic and the birth of the Roman Empire. Picture this, it's 31 BC, the Roman world is split in two. In one corner, we have Octavian, Julius Caesar's ambitious and cunning great-nephew. In the other, we have the legendary power couple, Mark Antony and Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt. For years, these two titans, Octavian and Antony, once allies, had been circling each other. Their rivalry escalating until war was inevitable. The entire Mediterranean held its breath. The stage was set off the coast of western Greece, near a place called Actium. Antony and Cleopatra had a massive fleet, a mix of giant, powerful warships called quinqueremes and smaller, nimbler vessels. They were blockaded in the Ambracian Gulf by Octavian's forces. Their plan: to break through the blockade and escape to Egypt, where they could regroup and continue the fight. On the other side, Octavian's fleet was commanded by the brilliant admiral, Marcus Agrippa. Agrippa was a tactical genius. His ships were smaller, lighter, and more maneuverable than Antony's massive warships. They were called Liburnians, and they were the sports cars of the ancient naval world, fast, agile, and packing a serious punch, with weapons like the harpax, a type of grappling hook, fired from a catapult. On September 2nd, the day of the battle dawned. Antony's fleet sailed out to meet Octavian's fleet. The scene must have been incredible. Hundreds of ships, thousands of oars, churning the water. Soldiers screaming battle cries. Antony's larger ships were like floating fortresses. They were tough to sink, but they were also slow and difficult to turn. Agrippa knew this. He ordered his smaller ships to use hit-and-run tactics. They would swarm around the larger enemy vessels, ramming them, setting them on fire with flaming arrows, and using their grappling hooks to pull them apart. The battle raged for hours, a chaotic dance of wood, iron, and fire. The key moment came when, for reasons historians still debate, Cleopatra suddenly ordered her squadron of 60 ships to break through the lines and flee the battle. Seeing her leave, Mark Antony, in a move that sealed his fate, abandoned his command and his men, hopping onto a smaller ship to chase after her. For the soldiers and sailors left behind, this was a devastating blow. Their leaders had deserted them. Morale collapsed. One by one, Antony's ships were captured or sunk. By the end of the day, Octavian had won a total and resounding victory. The path to Egypt was open. The aftermath was swift. Antony and Cleopatra made it back to Alexandria, but their support crumbled. Less than a year later, as Octavian's legions closed in, they both took their own lives, ending a legendary love story and an era of Roman history. With his rivals gone, Octavian stood alone, the undisputed master of the Roman world. So why was Actium so important? It wasn't just a military victory, it was a political one. It ended the decades of bloody civil wars that had torn the Roman Republic apart. Octavian returned to Rome a hero. He skillfully rebranded himself, taking the name Augustus and becoming the very first Roman emperor. The Roman Republic was officially dead, and the Roman Empire, which would dominate the Western world for the next 500 years, was born. All of this hinged on that one fateful day at Actium, a battle of tactics, betrayal, and ambition that didn't just decide a war, but shaped the future of an entire civilization. The next time you think about a single moment changing everything, remember the clash of fleets at Actium. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the past. See you in the next video.